Abyssal Reef is our first map in this last best of 5 of the evening, spawning to the bottom right in green. We have our Zerg player Kyuubi. And to the top left in orange, it's Rival G's Koshkii. Pylon incoming, right on the low ground, so it seems as if Koshkii just wants to seal off this area pretty early on in order to take a nexus down here. So Kyuubi in the meantime getting early gas and pool, so wants to go for some quick shenanigans here. Koshkii goes in, sees that there's no base, does not really need to... okay, no, sees the drone, never mind. Sees the drone incoming, so wants to block the hatch down here, but that might actually be just something that does not really annoy her opponent all too much. I mean, Koshkii really wants to get in a little bit later in order to see whether there's a pool going down, and she will see it. So there's the base incoming. Kyuubi will need it, mostly for the lava, in order to finance all of her early links she wants to throw at her opponent. And actually, I mean, that's a fairly good map in order to do it. Yes, you can seal off this area completely as Protoss, but there's another entrance over to the left-hand side. Of course, if you want to get in there with only links, it takes some time in order to get the links there, because you have to take a different route, either over here and then up here, or you just take the complete right flank over this side. But yeah, the links will have to walk a lot longer in order to get into the person's base. But Koshkii now knows what's up. Will probably seal off this part of the base in time, especially after now having scouted that the first links are on the way. So we'll probably spend a few additional minerals in order to seal this off. It's already planting down another pylon, which should help her to defend this part. Once a mothership core finally gets out, we'll probably boost it out as quickly as possible, I think. But yeah, I mean, this part of the map is still fairly open, adept in the making, but it's still a few seconds from being done. The mothership core is not out as well. Kyuubi now moving in. Does not bother killing any of these pylons, knowing that it doesn't really matter if she tears down one, the other will still be there for photon overcharge, but rather wants to take out as many probes as possible in the meantime. Getting 2 already, 3 should be the number she was aiming for. Now even getting exceeding numbers, 4, 5, 6, well, that was 1 probe for 1 ling lost. So that was definitely worth the trade. Now trying to get a third base, so nothing all too... Not really hard committing into this push, but just wanted to gain a little edge early on. But of course you still have to look whether it was worth it or not, since as you can see, they are now on even workers. So you just have to ask yourself if it really was worth it anyways. I mean, if she hadn't committed to that early push, which resulted in getting her base later, which resulted in getting less drones, she might have just had the same amount of workers anyways afterwards. So yeah, she still wants to deal a little bit more damage, tries to run in with speedlings now. There's an adept in position, but there's still a wide open gap inside that wall. And she's also... is she going for drops? Looks like it. There's the evolution chamber, just almost done. And there's the morph, so wants to, yeah, is probably expecting Koshkii to already have a full wall, even though it's not a full wall, but she can of course not know that. So she just wants to avoid the wall completely and moves in with the Overlord. Actually, we've seen Koshkii being a little bit vulnerable to Overlord drops, and seems as if her opponent wants to capitalize on that knowledge. Moves in once more, kills 3 more workers, and 3 again is just the number you want to go for with 6 links, now even getting more worth done with them. So you can easily lose these 6 once you've killed 3 workers, fair trade. But if you get even more, of course, the better. Now flying in with another Overlord, but it does not have anything with it, just flying around to scout a little bit more. Oracle is out, will now finally kill the Zerglings, but the damage has been dealt. I think 11 workers in total killed, no 12 even. Wow, that was actually totally worth it. So another drop incoming, because this space still is not secure. Might even send in another one right behind it. So constantly harassing her opponent with link drops, very annoying here, while taking a third base right behind it. Void Race incoming, but they will not really help against these drops here. And Koshkii again has to retreat from her main mineral line. So in addition to, of course, killing all of these drones, she also has been denying this main base mineral line for quite some time. So really difficult for her to actually get her income up when she always has to retreat and move in. So yeah, I mean, Kyuubi doing a great job here of denying her opponent the mining. Sending in a few more links here, trying to nibble away at that assimilator. Also getting rid of the gas count. Well, might even get another one, 2, 3, 4. And again, these links have been totally worth it. Especially with the time denied at the mineral line. So finally the board ray moves in and will kill that pesky overlord here. So these probes will finally get some rest at their own mineral line. If I were them, I'd file a report. What the player is thinking. I cannot work under these circumstances. Do something. So more and more links streaming across the map. Seems for now that Kyuubi actually wants to end this game with links alone. More. Yeah, there's another dropper lord over here morphing, but the board ray finds it and will kill it off. Third base will be attacked by a lot of links here, and it seems as if Koshkii just does not have enough in order to defend it. The Oracle is there, that might help a little bit, but the Oracle does not have that much energy, so will probably not be able to clear the links by himself, or by itself. But the Adepts reach, and will now eventually kill off these Zerglings. So the question is, what does Kyuubi want to do behind it? And it is a Hydralisk then. So seems as if she just wants to go for a lot of Ling Hydra pressure afterwards. So actually just using the links in order to keep the income of the toss down. Also delaying third bases for as long as possible, so that you will be able to get a big Ling Hydra force and then just move in and kill off everything with the insane amount of DPS you will be able to dish out. So, in the meantime, Koshkii tries to go into Sky Toss with a Fleet Beacon right behind the natural mineral line. Kyuubi wants to take a fourth, just in case she won't be able to finish the game with her next push. Never want to go all in, do you? Hydra upgrade for speed and range, while we see a Twilight Council by Koshkii. Don't really know what she wants to do with it, maybe just wants to eventually get... I mean, if you really want to go Sky Toss, you usually don't really need the Twilight Council for all too much. I mean, yes, you can get glaives on your Adepts in order to kill off ground forces a little bit easier. Maybe she just wants to go into... probably for High Templars here. For the Dark not for the Dark Shrine, for the Templar Archives, in order to get Storm, because she realizes that her opponent will probably go for some anti-air in the form of Hydralisks. And here's the, well, fairly big push, okay-ish push, let's say. Taking out one pylon that's only in the making, taking out the other one before, just it can just barely finish. And I think, well, maybe now that might actually not be enough. The Hydra's DPS killing that pylon fairly easily. All of the Adepts just getting killed before they can dish out the damage, and now it's only one more Void Ray. The Hydras kill it off, and now no more remaining forces. Koshkii GG's out, and Kyuubi takes the first map. Ascension to Ayur, our second map in this best of 5. Spawning to the top left in orange, we have the Protoss playing for Rival Gaming, and the US, it's Koshkii. And to the bottom right, in green, playing green for E-Swarm, playing Zerg for E-Swarm, actually, but not on this European account. It's Kyuubi. Pylon going down. Koshkii wants to close off this entrance as quickly as possible, because then it will be easier for her to actually take that expansion. We've already seen how annoying it can be if a lot of links stream in and kill off your base in the Miyuni vs Horsemaster series. So Koshkii wants to make sure that that does not happen by walling off the front as quickly as possible, while Kyuubi goes again into Gas Pool and then the hatch, but Koshkii has already seen what's going on, so we'll probably not make the same mistake twice. And hopefully seal off that area a little bit more quickly this time around, so that the Lynx will not get the chance to stream in. Entrance to entrance also pretty far away, it's a really long route in order to get there. Koshkii checking for the possible third base locations over to the right hand side and also down here. Sees that no third has been taken yet, but that would be pretty uncommon at that point in time. So she might actually want to send in that probe a little bit later in order to check for a potential third. And here we have the first few Lynx moving across the map. We'll probably get this probe here if she checks, if she bothers to check for the watchtower, but maybe not, maybe she just wants to run across the map as quickly as possible for the surprise effect, but of course that just gave Koshkii the chance to see exactly where the units are. Oh, but again, the wall is open! I repeat, the wall is open! And again, unfortunately, Koshkii just didn't want to change her build order up a little bit in order to get this wall closed. So now the Lynx are inside the base once more. Let's see how much damage she can deal this time around. Not so much this time. Koshkii was prepared a little bit better, but still a good trade. Now even an even better trade. Four probes is absolutely okayish for the first 6 Lynx. 22 to 20 workers, but of course this time around Kyuubi does not have a third base up yet. But wants to take it right now after the 3rd minute base, and probably wants to drone up a little bit by herself. So this time around didn't do that significant damage, but of course we have Overlords moving into position once more. We don't have an Evo chamber yet, but there it's coming. So drop position over here, drop position over here. So yeah, we're probably going to see more drop play out of Kyuubi. Why change a winning tactic? 6 Lynx in the making. Overlord speed incoming as well. The evolution chamber will finish in just a few seconds. And then I think we should have a closer look at this Overlord. But this time around, Koshkii is expecting it, finds the Overlord, will not be able to shoot it down before it morphs, and once it morphs it will have full health once more. But yeah, this time around she knows what's going on, and Kyuubi has to retreat for now. Koshkii has to be careful not to feel too safe at that point in time. There's another drop load over here, and the Lynx get detoured immediately towards that Overlord. But Koshkii will shoot it down as well. Huh! And now, of course, Koshkii sees what's going on. A lot of Lynx running towards that Overlord. Still, Kyuubi feels comfortable dropping those, because there's only one Stalker around, and this Stalker is not even in position, so one Stalker alone will not be able to shoot down this fastly flying Overlord. We have a few Adepts in place though, so I think that these Lynx dropping out of these Overlords bit by bit should actually be taken out by the Adept and the... Okay, in the meantime we have another attack trying to run right straight through the front. Unfortunately, yeah, this part over here, this gap is still not closed. So again, detouring these Lynx into this Overlord in order to drop once more. Koshkii even planting down a pylon over here to help her defend with maybe photon overcharges if need be, and also get a little bit more vision of that part of the map. We have one Adept in place, but it will not be able to take on 6 or even 8 Lynx here. So the Adept has to run away. Mothership Core is being called home. At the same time, we still have Lynx in the front, but there's an Adept in place, so they shouldn't be able to break through that little gap here. No way whatsoever. In the meantime, it looks as if a few more probes got killed, but only a few more. No, actually none. So never mind. It's only Zergling blood. We see here Overlord full of units once more. And at the same time, we have the Oracle flying into the main base of Kyuubi here. But there's the Spellcrawler and the Queen ready, so not much the Oracle can do. Got 0 kills in the meantime. But the Voider is out. We'll now finally get rid of these pesky Overlords. Number 1. And probably number 2 over here. Another drop inside the main base. Again, only a few Lynx, and we have Adepts in place. Shouldn't be able to deal that much damage. But, getting 2. Okay, getting at least 1 probe here. The best she could do. Maybe even getting another one. No. This Stalker should actually kill. Oh, no. Actually getting a second one. So nicely done as well. Second Overlord will die. Void will probably fly over here in order to get rid of that Overlord. More Lings streaming across the map, but now the Overlords are gone. So not much he can do here except denying that third base over here. Doesn't really need to check for that one because the Overlord was hanging around there for quite some time. Still wants to check it. But yeah, then she has to run back. No more Dropper-Lords. Over at Koshkii's half. Let's this lone little Ling over here just in case Koshkii wants to expand. Koshkii again going for the Fleet Beacon, so wants to transition into Sky Toss again. Oracle flying around, tagging these Lings here. Nicely done. So Kyuubi still running back towards her own base, maybe? No, running towards the fourth. Has already taken third, is now saturating it bit by bit. Yes, of course, these Ling attacks have cost her a lot of lava and resources, so no chance to actually saturate this base ahead of time. But yeah, this game will now evolve into a usual macro game. Koshkii now comfortably taking the third base, has a lot of units around here, has one unit in position just in case the Lings should try a sneaky run by. And yeah, there's a Mothership Core in place as well, so she could always transition this army to a Nexus under fire if need be. Woo, 28 to 16. Yeah, unfortunately Koshkii was not able to take that base over here, but of course she didn't want to stop making workers. So her natural base is a little bit oversaturated until this third base is done, is already transferring these probes towards this third Nexus, since she knows that will finish in just a few seconds here. So wants to send these drones, these probes over a little bit ahead of time. So at the same time, it seems as if Kyuubi is preparing for sort of a similar push she was trying to do last game, with a lot of Lings and Hydras right behind it. But this time around, she didn't really deal the amounts of damage she was able to deal on the first map. So Koshkii should be way better prepared this time around, is even going into the first few carriers already with 4 Void Rays ready and a lot of Adepts below them. So even with Hydras, it should be pretty difficult to take all these out. Morphing in Banelings in order to get rid of the Adepts in front, so that the Hydras will be able to really dish out the damage from behind. Oracle flying in, gets the tag, but that's actually all. Sees now that the army is moving over to the left-hand side, but is not moving the army yet. Still, taking down these buildings will take some time. It will give Koshkii the time to answer. Now the units move in. The Banelings are here. Let's see how Koshkii reacts. Oh, most of these Banelings actually detonate into all of the Adepts, and now it's only Void Rays against the Hydras plus a Photon Overcharge, but some Adepts are still left. The forces are just too small, but most of these important tech units get out. Actually, all the Void Rays die. What the hell? Nice focus fire there by Kyuubi, getting all of the important air units, making this air army so much weaker right now. So that a follow-up push might actually be a little bit problematic for Koshkii to hold. I mean, yes, carriers are great, but without anything to protect them, they're kind of squishy. So let's see. Kyuubi might actually be able to hit a timing here with more and more reinforcements streaming across the map. Definitely does not want to go into the longer game. Sees now that carriers are out, retreats immediately for now, but not too far away. Still wants to be aggressive, I feel. Getting the upgrade, probably waiting for +2 to finish and a few more Hydras to arrive at the front, and will then probably move in once more. By now we have a lot more Adepts to buffer for the carriers and their intercepted damage. Now also wants to get up some static defense, knows that holding this third base is key for now. At the meantime we have Kyuubi taking a fourth, Kyuubi has taken a fourth base, has already saturated, and now this fight will actually be a little bit problematic here. I mean, that's not too many interceptors here. If you just let the interceptors move out too far, if you let the interceptors get lured away too far by the Hydralisks, they might be able to just shoot all of them down, and replacing them takes time and money, even though not that much money than before in older versions of StarCraft 2. But yeah, I mean, having carriers without interceptors, not really that good. 4 carriers for now, but a little bit out of position. So let's see if Kyuubi will actually be able to break through. Doesn't really want to use these Banelings in order to get through the buildings, but wants to move them right into the Adepts. Not there yet, so we have 4 carriers now firing upon these Hydralisks here, raining down justice from above, while the Adepts just kill off most of these forces by Kyuubi here, and taking a 4th base right behind it. The rest of the forces try to engage into the 3rd, but there's cannons. What the fuck, cannons? Getting charge as well, and charge will even be more potent against these Hydralisks. Well, maybe not more potent, but as potent, we can say, if the Zealots are a lot cheaper, well, not a lot, but if you produce a lot of them, they are cheaper, quite cheaper than the Adepts, and if they close into the Hydras, they just crush through them so easily, making them retreat, so you have to stutter step the Hydralisks in order to be efficient and not just getting cut down by all of these Zealots, so you also get rid of a lot of DPS at that point in time. And it also protects all of your units right behind it, because, like I said, the units all have to answer to the Zealots first before they can attack the rest of the units. And that allows you to close in with your high attack units, killing off the rest of them. So, the carrier number is getting more and more problematic for Kyuubi to deal, but she's already preparing for it with Infestors and Neural Parasite. So I don't know how much experience Koshkii has with this kind of new style for her. She's just recently discovered Skytoss for her. And it seems as if Kyuubi just knows the exact answer and what to do. So let's see if she will get the money parasites, making most of these carriers her own, letting them work against her opponent. Yeah, if you can't... The old rule of war, if you can't defeat your enemy, change to their side, become one of them. If you can beat them, become one of them. So getting the Templar Archives with just Lings would be huge. And will she get it? Will she get it? Oh, barely gets it with only Lings. That was a huge deal. Wow, a few Lings running by getting the Templar Archives. Very annoying there for Koshkii. And here it seems as if the big engagement is about to happen. Lots of carriers, lots of other units to buffer for. So it might be a little bit more problematic for the Infestors to come close. But remember, Infestors can channel their spells while being burrowed. Does she have burrow though? That's actually, yeah, she does. So Koshkii might not see this coming. She does not have an observer with her army, if I'm not mistaken. No, she does not. So this could just be a little bit disastrous here. Let's see. She moves in. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Actually, enough energy for 3. Koshkii tries to recall, but these 3 actually stay there. Oh no, the Mothership Core gets killed before it can actually recall these units. So, wow, that was obviously not as Koshkii intended to go. Yeah, like I said, she was not expecting the Infestors to be there at all. Didn't have any chance to see them beforehand and kill them. And now the rest of the army gets chased down. Oh no, never mind. So most of the army actually moved out, but the 3 carriers, because they were not her own units at that point in time, didn't transfer out as well. So she still has a lot of her armada, but let's see if it's going to work. I mean, these Infestors have a lot of energy. 1 Neural Parasite, 2, 3, 4... And now suddenly, all your army belongs to us. Yeah, and the Hydras just kill off everything else. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The army is gone. The Hydras marching in. Only a few of these Infestors eventually died, because now they can be seen due to these photon cannons. Koshkii tries to do her best to hold the photon cannons, also still dealing a lot of damage, but the Hydra DPS is insane. 1 carrier out, but it didn't have any interceptors. The other carrier gets its interceptors killed. GG! And Kyuubi takes the second map for a 2-0 lead. Odyssey. 3rd map of this best of 5. We have Koshkii to the top left, and to the bottom right, it's Kyuubi. Russia against America. It's Cold War all over again. Oh, cute, whatever it is. Oh, it's Alarak, right? Oh, that looked straight like the Alarak emote. So let's see what Kyuubi wants to do this time. Try to go, yeah, the same thing once more, I guess. Wants to have early links and early speed, and will probably try to drop Lord play her opponent once more. Immediately sends the drones into gas. Koshkii probably suspecting a thing like this by now. I mean, actually, this is like metagaming your opponent once more. I mean, who would think that the opponent would try to drop rush you 3 times in a row? So some may even think, nah, no way she's going to use the same strategy once more, but she is. So Koshkii has to be careful this time around. This gap is actually a lot smaller, I think. It looks smaller than the one on the other maps we've had so far. So Koshkii should be able to wall off this part of the area fairly easily this time around. But there's a lot of drop-a-lot places over here. Could even come in from here and drop into here. So let's see where she sends her overlords. One is definitely flying towards this part of the map. The other one seems to move towards the same part as well. So maybe she just wants to have 2 overlords in order to do like double drop play. We'll see. First few links are already on the way. We'll try to sneak through once more. I don't think this zealot actually fills this gap out completely. Should be easily surrounded by links, I guess. Just a hunch. But yeah, probably it is. So, what are you doing here? Okay, no, sees the 6 links coming in, blocks a few of them, so the zealot actually gets a few hits on them. So now the links are inside the base once more, chrono boosting the mothership core. Don't really know what Koshkii was thinking here. I mean, she faced the same strategy 3 times in a row. This time, though, only losing 2 probes, so got better at defending it. But I mean, could have actually chrono boosted that mothership core a little bit faster, I think, knowing what was headed her way. So, or like I said, maybe she thought, okay, she built it, but she won't really commit. Not this time around. I mean, we had this 2 times in a row. She will not do it once more. But yeah, losing only 2 probes, that's okay. That's an okay loss for the investment that Kyuubi had to push in there. Okay, checking for proxy location over here. There's no proxy. So now the links will run across the map. There's the first overlord. No, not yet. Evolution chamber still in the making. Overlord speed also in the making. Mothership core is in place, so Koshkii knows what's up and will prepare for it. This time around, no stalker though, so no way to shoot down these overlords beforehand. But yeah, she's probably realized that 1 stalker alone will not really make a difference. So, has some units around here, has a zealot there, but has to be careful not to get surrounded. Yeah, no way to get in there. The robotics facilities. No, actually no, it is not a full block, right? Okay, Kyuubi trying to get this pylon torn down and will probably succeed. Mothership core far out of place here. So Kyuubi actually mind gaming her opponent quite nicely here, making her think she would drop into the main base, and now actually this pylon might die, and with it a lot of these structures here, and that is just disastrous for Koshkii. Now all of her production facilities are taken out. She does not have the best possibility to even produce a unit to fight against this, and more probes dying. Of course, Koshkii trying to micro a hard out, trying to just make the damage a little bit smaller, but 11, 12 workers have died in the meantime. More and more links streaming in since this gap is wide open, and there's even another gap here for the links to stream in. At least we have one adept, the one adept that was standing back here in order to help out defending this. One more photon overcharge, but yeah, the only thing that Kyuubi has to do is just run out of the overcharge and wait for more reinforcements. The pylon trying to get up, but it doesn't even matter since there's still an opening back behind that robo. The pylon goes down once more, and with no more units being morphed in, this is a very desperate situation for Koshkii. The links now taking out the only army unit available except for the mothership core. And yeah, but the mining time denied. Behind that, Kyuubi is taking a third base comfortably. So even if Koshkii clears this up eventually, or when she clears it up eventually, she's just so far behind already. 21 to 40 workers, just barely having 2 bases. It's not really worth speaking of two. And in the meantime, she still had to kill units inside her main base. 9 more workers got killed. 24 in total. And it seems as if another... Okay, she just cancelled this. Just wanted to have a pylon over here, just in case the Lynx tried to snuck by once more. So she just built it and now has the Immortal in place. But of course, yeah, now she's vulnerable to drop lords. They are not out of the game yet. And yeah, she just does not have enough in order to defend at several fronts at once. Even Banelings morphing right now, and this could just devastate this worker line here. Actually, Kyuubi is not even aware and is not thinking about it, since she's so worried about so many other things at that point in time, believe me. Especially that frontal attack will probably not even pay attention to that Baneling bust. And that will seal the deal. Ouch. 2 more, actually only 4, 10. 10 more workers killed, down to 18. At least the push at the front gets cleaned up. Oh, actually, nice, the new skill, the new skin for the Immortal here. But yeah, 2 more Lynx drop inside the main base. Might even morph those into Banelings as well. Yeah, she does. And again, Koshkii not aware. Like I said, she has so many things on her mind right now. More and more Lynx streaming across the map. Kyuubi realizes that if she just continues pressuring her opponent, she will be able to cripple her economically. I mean, she already has. But crippling her up to a point where her opponent just will not be able to do anything. 8 more Lynx inside the Overlord. Okay, unfortunately a little bit micro there with the 2 workers. Oh no, actually he moved in, saw that there weren't too many workers, wanted to get into the middle line at the natural base. But yeah, they were the Immortals. So no more units streaming in, but these Immortals should be able to deal with these Lynx, no problem. So we might actually see Kyuubi transitioning, or maybe not, into something else to eventually clear up to eventually close out that series. Yeah, Hydras are the units of choice. Once more, going into a 4th base. And what can Koshkii do from here on out? I mean, there's not much she can do. She has a Twilight Council. It's not going into DTs, but DTs will probably not help anyways. I mean, her opponent does not have... Does she have a lair yet? She should, right? Yeah. So I think with the second push, or with the... Well, I mean, there were a lot of pushes there, but with the next push, there should be some Overseers in place as well. Now even dropping 16 Lings into the main base. Because I can. Just because I can. I have enough resources to do that. And just planting them right in the middle of the mineral line. Koshkii again has to pull workers. Mining will be denied for a few more seconds once more. While also pressuring the front, there's only the Mothership Core and the pylon here. Kyuubi just trying to tear down from the buildings from the inside and the outside. More Hydralisks screaming across the map. The Hydra is now even outside the range of the Photon Overcharge, outside the range of everything actually. Even taking out the very important Cybernetics Core here, crippling Koshkii's tack a little bit there. And again, I just don't see what Koshkii can do from here on out. Trying to rebuild the Cybernetics Core, cannot really afford a Dark Shrine, and like I said, Dark Templars will probably not do much. I mean, Koshkii has not really thought of making an Overseer yet. If I see that correctly, no. Only Dropper Lords and normal Overlords. So, but yeah, they would just maybe have some value for the first attack, and even that probably not, because the Banelings could just crush into them and get exploded by hand in order to take DTs out. Another drop into the main base of Koshkii. There it is, the Dark Shrine. The only leverage that's left for Koshkii, I feel. She cannot really transition into Air Toss from here on out, especially not since her opponent already has Hydras. Yeah, trying to make something happen, was moving out, knew that she had to do some counter pressure towards her opponent, but Kyuubi just already has too many units. GG well played, and Koshkii loses the last map and Kyuubi wins the series 3-0.